So yeah, this is the social networking and data management panel. Corey Denis is on her way, but we thought we'd just get started because there's so much to talk about. So here you go. Todd, take it away.
Hello. How's it going there today? How's everybody doing? All right. Woohoo! All right. Social networking. There's a lot of stuff going on in social networking, a lot of confusion. Myself, musician at heart, San Jose State, jazz, composition, arranging. Actually played one of Francis Wong's compositions in my junior recital. Whew. Audio engineer, studio owner, somewhat of a hacker, intermediate hacking. I know basic HTML, CSS, PHP, Java. So that kind of helps me navigate the web somewhat more than somebody who doesn't know how to code or use an FTP client and such. Also associated with the SF Music Tech Summit. I help with community, great event going on Monday. Got a couple bands you can check out online, Life, Love, Misery, an alternative rock trio with a string quartet, and I also have an alter ego called Selah Dobro, where I put a dobro on my lap and I sing songs of yesteryear, put on a different hat. And Danny's going to tell you a little bit about what he does in social media as a strategy consultant.
Good afternoon. How you guys doing? Awesome. Yeah, so thank you so much for the opportunity, Todd.
You're welcome.
Fitbeetle.net. I work with primarily urban artists in the Bay Area and now outside regions, helping them kind of optimize and strategize at both the 30,000-foot level and really ground level tactical and monetizing and really maximizing their online presence and expanding their digital footprint. My background is traditional. I come from Clear Channel Radio. I was there for the better half of a decade, 9 years. I was extremely fortunate that I started at a young age, at 16. They hired me 6 months later after interning, and I was there ever since. And I got to learn the corporate speak, I guess you could say. And in that, I started heading up their social media efforts in the fall of 2006. And this is in the early stages of, the Twitters and the Ustreams of the world. And so I was extremely fortunate to be in that position and take up that leadership role within the company, especially that we're here in Silicon Valley. I used to always joke that I was born in the wrong place, like I should have been born in Los Angeles or New York. But when I found out that, we're right here in the heart of Silicon Valley where all the hustle and bustle of movers and shakers are, especially within social media, I was like, this just makes complete sense. So I went after that, and I've been in the space ever since. So I've been in the space for 4 years, 10 years with just traditional marketing. Hi, Court. Yeah. And I'm working with various labels, and I also moonlight. Well, not really moonlight, but the labels don't necessarily always pay the bills. So I monetize primarily off of doing freelance work for agencies, brands such as Cisco, Harpo, and currently Whole Foods Market.
And we have Corey Denis from Not Shocking has joined us. Thank you so much.
From here. Is this thing on? Yes. So we're doing intros?
Yes.
Okay. Gosh. I'll be very brief. I'll try. I started off at a record label. I quit grad school for a record label and started off at a label around the time that the internet was playing a role in music. In other words, Napster was born, websites mattered, but they had blinking lights and they were underlined. And my boss turned to me and asked me to figure out something with the internet. And so I went home and I self-taught. I actually went to GeoCities and printed out everything about HTML, a few hundred pages, taught myself HTML, and made company websites. And through that made artist pages, and became, through that path of a number of years, became director of online marketing, which was a department that did not exist. And our record label, I talk about it like it was small, but we had the samples. We sold over 1 million records. Stephen Lynch is, I have a gold record on my wall from that. It was great experiences because they were all digital campaigns that I ran. And through that facilitated one of the first indie deals between iTunes and an indie label. Got the attention of my soon-to-be boss over at IOTA. I went to work at IOTA after the label, brought the label with me. They're an IOTA client. And at IOTA developed something called PromoNet, which enables bloggers to dig into the IOTA catalog, over 5,000 record labels all over the world, and get cleared MP3s directly from the rights holders and put them on their blog through a rights agreement that when you agree to terms, you agree to, I'm a blogger, and when I put it up, I will put the following information with it, and it has a buy link and a link to the website. So for a couple years, 2 years, we ran that, and from there, now I've started my own company, and I do digital media strategies. I have a comedian. I've got Michael Tilson Thomas, who's a conductor of the San Francisco Symphony, as well as New World Orchestra, principal conductor of the London Symphony Orchestra, and a band called Inu, and a band called The Ferocious Few, and a whole lot more. And so that's my story.
Cool. So essentially, all three of us, we do digital strategy, web, social media management. So I want to thank the Future of Music for inviting us, very much. To get us started, we've got a couple triangles in the mix today. Corey's got a great one about fans and level of fans, but just to moderate these two and kind of get the ball rolling here, myself, I've got my own triangle, and I think through effective social networking, or at least putting your works up on these free, remember that word, free, mostly free, social networks, you can obtain very effective SEO, which is search engine optimization. If you've got a band name that's confusing, or if you Google your band name and the first page you come up maybe once or twice, through some of the techniques that we show you today or talk about, you can fix that problem. So here's my triangle. My concept these days is social media, social networking, is you want to drive your fan to either a purchase point or your website. Maybe the purchase point is a widget, so they'll never make it back to your website. But everything that's going on should get people back to your website. And you want to be where all the people are, just like earlier with the grants and such panels. You want to take your vision where the people are, that are the community that's going to support you. So we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, and some people call it the dying giant, but truth of the matter is there's a lot of people still on MySpace. So that's what they call the initial triangle, and there's an outlying triangle of secondary sites also. And right now, the most popular place for people to congregate to be a fan is Facebook. And I saw Corey speak yesterday, and she had some very good points on really identifying with your audience to grab more fans on Facebook. So I'm going to move to Corey and to Danny on the latest and greatest techniques. So first and foremost, just how to present your band or your talent on Facebook, being starting with the profile and moving on to the Facebook fan page, which I'll just say right now, my favorite plugin per se for a Facebook fan page is the Root Music plugin by Bandpages, which a deluxe version is available for like $1.99 a month. Comes with a player.
That's $1.99.
$1.99. Thank you. She's like, it's $200. I said everything be free, right?
Never.
You never know. So, Root
Music.
Rootmusic.com. Check it out. And until they came out, I thought my favorite was the iLike player, iLike.com, who was kind of swallowed up by MySpace just recently. But let's take it away. Facebook. Tell them about Facebook.
These, I have to really talk into this microphone, so. No? Can you hear?
Yeah.
That's what I'm concerned about. Right. Okay. So I want to make sure I get picked up on the webcast. Okay. So where do I start with Facebook? I guess first I want to assess what's going on in the room. So because Facebook is extremely complicated. So I guess first, very generally, raise your hand if you use Facebook in any way. Raise your hand if you have a personal page in Facebook. You think. You have a Facebook page, but you don't know if it's personal or a public artist page? Or you don't know if you have a Facebook page? Okay. It's probably a personal page. Okay. Now, yes, if it was more than a few months ago. So now, do you have a band or artist page? A fan, something someone can like. Okay. So I guess how are any of you confused between the difference between the two? Why you should have both? What I want to do, hang on. Here's what I'll do with Facebook. This is what we learned yesterday. Facebook is even more confusing than I already thought it was for most human beings. It's worse. And what I discovered yesterday, and we were in the room together, was that you're not alone. Most people are confused by Facebook, especially because it's in the news. I mean, I've heard it talked about on CNN at this point, right? So with privacy concerns. So I think we should have questions about Facebook and spend like maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. 5 minutes on Facebook.
Okay.
Is that cool? All right. Okay. Am I screaming in your ears? It's hard to tell feedback. Okay. Let's just take questions on Facebook, and we'll do it for 5 minutes, so make them quick.
Okay. It's funny. I have a personal page, but I deactivated it because I don't use it appropriately. I stalk people from my past and whatnot. So I think
they stalk you too.
So what I was hoping, what I tried to do within my personal page is I saw these other people I knew who were artists who had artist pages, and I tried to figure out how to create that while I still had my personal page, and it seemed like I have to in order to make people see that page, I have to use a new email and set up a completely new account because I don't want a personal page anymore.
Not true. Okay.
But I don't want my personal page anymore.
Now that's the problem.
I know.
Therein lies your problem. And I had a consultation client who had the same dilemma. And the answer in the end was, then you really can't have, if you want to do your artist page appropriately and use Facebook appropriately, you can't deactivate your personal page. You can...
I was so proud of myself.
I'm fantasizing about doing this, but in order to work within the Facebook system appropriately, and by appropriately I mean in ways that work, you have to have a personal profile. And from that profile, create your band page, or someone else did, but then you have to fan yourself, and they make you an admin. Okay?
The page has to have
an administrator. Right.
Every Facebook fan page has to have an administrator, and that administrator has to have a personal profile.
So you can't just have a fan page?
No, you cannot just have a fan page. So the end of the answer to that question is, this is not MySpace. Everything you learned about MySpace applies to other stuff and MySpace. This is nothing like MySpace. Nothing like MySpace. Your fans learned HTML. That's not Facebook. Okay, next question.
I have a personal page, and then I also have a page for my ensemble. But I find that I'm wanting people to go to my ensemble page, and they're coming to me and friending me at my personal page, and rather than go, and
send them there.
I'm getting confused. Yeah, send them there.
Okay, so what I say, I have this happening with clients that I'm working with and friends and whatever. You have to send them. I mean, ultimately, yes, it's an extra step, and that can't be helped, because the only way to navigate the Facebook is with your personal page. When they fan you, and they're clearly becoming a friend because they want to be your fan, in reality, you have to send them that link through that messaging system. Or, this is something to know, you max out at 5,000 friends, right? Okay. So, up until 5,000, you can friend them, accept their friendship, and then when you have go to your artist page directly from there and click that button that says, suggest this page to friends. Now, here's the key thing. The reason you need a personal page and the reason it is okay to be friends with people is because those are the only people you can suggest things to. Okay, next.
Yeah, I have.
Well,
yeah.
one point on the 5,000 friends. Try not to go there, because there's going to be a percentage when you hit that suggest a friends. Besides having to click 5,000 friends one at a time to send that message, only a percentage are going to go over to your new page. So
Right.
don't fight the technology
So
or
that
the
was
policies.
so that was in kind of in the area of my question. So I have 800 friends in my personal page, and then I set up my fan page, and I've invited them in 100 people blocks to
Do it by making lists. Go into your
Oh, but I've
contact-
made the list, but I can't send to all my San Francisco list because it's over 100 people, so
I
I
hate
have to do
Facebook.
it a million times. So you have to like do San Francisco A, San Francisco B, you know, you get to
I
100.
have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, okay, so it's the same thing. So, but how do I, so now I use my friend page and as my fan page in many ways in terms of sending information. Because there are more people on my friend page who really should be in my fan page, but they haven't accepted my fan page.
Put a status update. Listen, this is my, like, that, this would be, if it were me, this would be my status update. Listen, friends, you need to, if you want any information about my art at all, it's coming from here, and you have to help me out because I can't, this is confusing, I know it sucks, but this is where the information's going to be, and let me tell you why, and you can tell them why. Because that is the page that is a public page that helps you be discovered or get discovered through the Google and search engines all around the web. That is the page that you can then put a widget, a small little button on your web page that says like. So that if someone is, this is kind of scary, but if someone is logged into Facebook and they come across your website and they see that little like thing, they click it and then you've got another like.
Right.
Right.
I do like the little updates they send me to tell me how many people have visited my fan page and how many new fans I
Your
have this
personal
week.
page is becoming more and more, the artist page is becoming a different thing, a different public situation for you
Right.
than your personal page, which has your personal information. So I would definitely view your personal page as, remember, it caps at 5,000, so it's like you're limiting yourself to 5,000 if you rely on that.
Okay.
I hope I made sense.
Yeah. One more phone. And one before we take this question here, one more technique to woo people away from your profile fan page accident per se, right? Put the content on the fan page. The videos on the, yeah, don't just starve them out of your profile page.
Yeah, put all the incentives there, have a clear call to action, and make sure that there's
Yeah.
reason to do it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We have to kind of close up this and move on to another question. Yeah.
I'm going to put my artist stuff on my personal page.
Yeah.
Again.
Starve them out.
Come to my artist page.
What's your question?
The problem I have is I capped out at 5,000 before I knew any of this stuff. But now I have 4,000 and some odd people trying to be my friend. And so I have 9,000 people that are nowhere near a fan page. I did the fan page, and people keep coming back to the friend page, to the regular thing.
Good idea.
And what makes it worse is other people go to the friend page because it has so much traffic. They post their own shit up there and becomes a bigger problem.
Here's what you have to do. Here's two things. You have to, it's very, go into your settings and turn off the function that allows the people to post on your wall. That's for one. Two, in your, make sure that your personal page faces front, like your info page faces front, that you're public. And then when anyone signed in or out of Facebook goes, you have to test it. Sign out of Facebook and go Google yourself with the Facebook and see how you look publicly when you're not logged in. And make sure that there's a box and you can control what it says, and make sure it says, this is not my artist, this is not my page. And you have to put a link.
And that's the closest you can do right now. What your problem is kind of bad now, because what you've got happening is, if I want to become a friend of yours and I end up on your friend page and I don't realize you probably have an artist page and I click add as friend, I get an error message that says, this person already has 5,000 friends. And that's all it says. Yeah, so strategy is going to have to come into play at some point. But because of these privacy issues, and we have to move on, but because look and see how your page looks when you're not logged in, and then log in and adjust it appropriately so that everything that is seen publicly by those who aren't your friends points to your actual page.
Facebook. So it's a really good tool. You just gotta kind of dive in there and learn how to use it and post content on the fan page wall, and/or the URL on your profile page, pointing them to that page, telling them go there. Not I don't know you, but I'll accept your fandom. Moving on to Twitter, which is probably right now in social networking the second largest congregation of people that are seeking content, entertainment, just common memes and interests. Speaking of Twitter, how are urban artists using Twitter these days, or how do you suggest your clients to use?
Well, they're using
Twitter?
it wrong, but the problem is with urban artists is that they just tweet to tweet, or they'll do the hashtag thing when they'll see what's trending, but they never really take advantage of the true power of Twitter, which is search.twitter.com, where you can now, based on your expertise or keywords, like let's say if you were into jazz, if you search jazz, you could see all the like-minded people that share your same psychographics, and then kind of join the conversations that are already happening. And that's kind of where the value is. Or like let's say if you're an artist and you sound similar to John Mayer, if you go and start trying to engage John Mayer's fans in conversation or say compelling things, that's a lot of power too, rather than you just kind of I'm on a panel, I'm eating, I'm sleeping, or buy my CD. I think a lot has to be said too to the ratio of your self-promoting tweets than to just trying to add value, because that's really what it comes down to, is why should someone follow you, why should someone care, and it's really just designing a value proposition, and that goes across the board with not just Twitter but also on your Facebook to fan you, or or going to sign up on your email list, which we'll talk about soon as well.
Yeah. And one thing to call out to the audience too is a lot of people are like, oh, what am I going to put on Twitter? It is crawled by the search engines. So, myself, I really like to make a collection of links with buy links, and of course you have to have your, product available somewhere where it can be purchased. But TWT.FM, TWT.FM, made by a great hacker named Lee Martin, who works with them Crooked Vultures, Beck, bunch of people. He programmed this thing up in like one rainy day. And what I do is I go through and I make links with buy links, and I get the link produced, copy it, paste it to a text document that doesn't import the formatting, so don't put it into Word. It could be a little hairy later on. And every once in a while, within conversational tweets, I will put that up. So it's always there, and then it's crawled, and it ends up on the first search engine page for my band, which is really cool, because a fan can click on it, push play, it'll stream the song, and if they want to buy it, there's a link there too. So that's one technique I use. And growing Twitter users is definitely a challenge. So I'm going to have, besides my only comment, I really think it's a really organic thing. I mean, you can't really fool Twitter to some extent, So I'm going to have Corey kind of comment on what she thinks about Twitter. But it's definitely an uphill battle for an independent artist, until you really get some traction. I mean, you will be plagued with bots following you, and porno bots, and strange people that obviously don't have any interest in your music, until something picks up, So here's some of your wisdom on Twitter. What do you think?
I hang my head at Twitter. Okay. So at this point, Twitter has existed for a few years, so it's different. There are artists such as Dave Matthews who started using Twitter immediately, and so the growth of his Twitter account sort of started very organically, or he just started using it. Well, now you already know that it exists. So if you have a release or something that you're putting together, this is now part of your strategy. You're not in the position of artists before that were able to really to look at a brand new technology. There's others floating around now. But in the case of Twitter, it's not a new technology. So there's no need to jump in and start, spewing it all out. You can, but don't confuse authenticity with the need to put out information that you might not even feel comfortable putting out there. I mean, I've had a lot of artists say, I don't feel very comfortable. I use it, but I don't feel very comfortable talking about anything on Twitter. And that's because at some point, at least the one who had said this to me, used Twitter just because they thought they had to, because it was like signing up for MySpace. The reality is it has to be part of your strategy. What is it for? You have to ask yourself that. And in order to ask yourself that, I think you need a strategy where you figure out what else you're talking about, what else your story is about that you're painting online. The web is this palette now. You have chances to offer visual art. Don't make a Flash website, but you have the chance to do visual art. You have a chance to use audio. You have a chance, and those video, all these opportunities, and Twitter is part of that, right? So figure out how it plays a role, and if you don't understand how it works, Twitter is a very glorified RSS feed. Wow, Brian. Sorry, friend just walked in the room. So Twitter is a glorified RSS feed. I like to call it your own personal news feed. It's a news feed for your band, but it doesn't. This must now be part of your strategy. So picking up Twitter and suddenly spewing out information and saying the same thing over and over again is not A, what it's for, or B, strategic. So that would be my answer about Twitter. And I can't guarantee anything, but your strategy will help grow your fan base in the right places. And if Twitter doesn't provide the appropriate forum, then at least you have your Twitter URL saved, right? So you can get that Twitter URL and username and not do anything with it for a little while. And that's part of your strategy.
Excellent, thank you. And just one last thing too, just to add, if you're going to add Twitter to your strategy per se, I really like to do the monkey see, monkey do thing. Look at some hot pages of other artists and look at the backgrounds and go, it's just one image. You got to get the right size. You got to put your logo in the right place. Maybe a little hello or what have you, a message to your fans, and upload that background, and you'll just look a little bit better than like the little flowers or something that they come with. Questions?
What about linking your Facebook and Twitter accounts so that you update in one and it propagates in the other? And should you do Twitter to Facebook or Facebook to Twitter, or?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple choices, and we can have Corey tell you about them real quick.
All right, so this is where it gets complicated, but I'm glad we already talked about Facebook, because 3 minutes. Okay, so you have your personal page and your artist page. Your personal page allows you to put in a Twitter app where you can connect your Twitter and your personal Facebook page, so that when you tweet, it updates your Facebook status, right? Your artist page has a different functionality, and it confuses what is called the API if you try to use both. So as part of your strategy, pick one, right? Focus on your artist page. The offering of the artist page is this. You can push your artist page to your Twitter account. And then you do your status updates through your Facebook artist page, and it pushes out to a Twitter. I've seen this work for a band, for The Ferocious Few does this, and it works. It provides a bit.ly link, which is a trackable link, so we see that people do click this, and when they click the link, it takes people back to the Facebook page. It's going to be good and bad. If you only want people to go to your Facebook page with your updates, you know, then this is a good method. If you're not updating frequently, or if you're a promoter and you're working with a band and the band is very good at Facebook and only good at Facebook, then that's a really good solution for them. But again, part of your strategy. Do you want to? Your only option as an artist right now is to push your updates. You know, your I'm doing this updates on your artist page out to Twitter, not like with your personal page.
I had 2 quick questions. One about Twitter. I had originally said it that I have to be informed of who wants to be my friend before I let them in because of all that, you know, the porn and
Right.
that comes through.
Yeah.
But then what happened is that people who used to retweet my tweets can't retweet them. So did I screw up a setting?
Oh, you have to unlock it.
Unlock the private,
Yeah.
but not unlock the, you have to tell me.
Oh, if you're going to promote your art online,
Yeah.
don't lock much. This,
Okay.
whatever you're locking, becomes very hard to find.
So I should go back and check who's following me and delete people that I don't want to have on there.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't make any
If
difference. Okay.
if Debbie loves Dallas and follows you,
And she doesn't do dishes. Okay.
right? Maybe she does do
Maybe
dishes.
she does do dishes. And the other one, really quickly, I often use TweetDeck.
Good.
So I can update, I can tweet and link, and I can check if I want LinkedIn and check Facebook. But the Facebook, again, it goes to my personal page, not to my artist page. Because
Try
TweetDeck doesn't have a
Try Hootsuite.
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 Would that let
HOOTSUITE.com.
me do Twitter?
It'll do
to
Twitter, it'll do Facebook
Facebook
fan
fan
pages, it'll
page?
update WordPress
It will?
blog pages. It's
Oh.
getting pretty crazy. So,
Hoot.
yeah.
HOOTSUITE.
Hootsuite.
Thank you. We are defining these things with every new conference. It's really weird. All right. You're right. That's a good word for TweetDeck. TweetDeck is a dashboard for Twitter that you download. You either put it on your iPhone. It's an application on your iPhone, or you download it and it runs on your computer, and you pull it up and it's a dashboard. You can organize your followers. Yeah, it's hard to feel like a normal person and use the words over and over again. You organize your followers, you can organize your Twitter lists, and then tweet.
And if you get a little nervous with installing applications on your computer, Hootsuite is web-based. So it's just a little. I'm a big fan of web-based applications. Yeah, those exe things. If the wrong one will just ruin your day. What's that?
Yeah.
It's browser-based, web-based. Moving on to MySpace. How many people here have a MySpace page for their music? Cool. Who here has a MySpace page that they for their music that they applied some sort of professional graphic design to? The Thomas editor. That doesn't count. No, kidding. Well, I'm gonna ask Danny about what he's suggesting with his artists to do MySpace. Just quickly, my view, MySpace. Get in, get out. Do a status update. Do a few bulletins a week, and just have a good-looking, slick basic page with no bling, no flashing things, and you know, if you can figure out the coding to like put a big button at the top that says "Go to my website" or "Get the hell out." Oh, good example. John, here's now MySpace. You know, there's a lot of people still there, so it could matter. It just depends where you're at, who your fans are. You know. The good, if you want to see somebody's opinion on MySpace, a very successful independent artist, go search for John Vanderslice on MySpace. All you get is a big banner and it says, "Everything is better at johnvanderslice.com." And that's all it says, because you can enter codes to hide virtually any module on MySpace. If you know what you're doing, and it's really easy too, just go to Google, you say hide codes, MySpace. You know, you can hide the player, you can hide the blog, you can hide a bunch of stuff. So we're going to take a question, and then we're going to talk to Danny about MySpace.
I just had a comment about MySpace, is that all my friends hate it, and I still keep my page up because I've actually gotten some leads from it. So
that's right. Like myself, I know, you know, having friends come to, you know, when I start performing a little more, I've never really strived to like play for all my friends. It'd be cool if I had like 1,000 fans that I didn't know, you know?
Right.
So definitely just hide from your friends.
Right.
I've got them.
No, but I have gotten, you know, requests to be on some compilations.
Nice.
And even some hits from some labels. Not that they play through, but I've checked and see if they're spam. They're not. So people are still searching MySpace. It's still good to keep it up. You don't have to, I don't interact with it. I just keep it up and update my songs on there.
Yeah, just update it and delete the offensive comments that are left, including other people's players. I find I maintain a bunch of MySpace pages for clients, and that's one of the things I do. A couple times a week I just go through and I delete people promoting their music directly on my client's page, and I keep the fans' comments on there. So it keeps me working, I guess. Danny.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we do something similar where we try to siphon off the MySpace traffic, or do what you were talking about the fan pages. Tell them, like, you know what, you know, we check our MySpace every Saturday. If you have any questions, or if you want a deeper level of engagement, go over here. You know what I mean? So we do that, and we also track. I mean, this is also different because, like you said, a lot of your resources come through MySpace. So I guess this is depending on your personal, what your fan base is like. So track it, you know, do a campaign and see where it's coming from. You might see that the majority of it's coming through Twitter, so that might mean, you know, let me optimize my Twitter, or let me spend some more time here. So when you do a campaign, look at the benchmarks and use those as like, yeah, I'm going to do more of this.
Cool. Well, we're really running out of time, so just real quick. Oh, you got a question? Nice.
From the chat room at Webalicious, it says, what are your favorite blogs or websites for learning about the latest developments in internet music marketing? Which is a good final question.
Jeez. We've got Hypebot. We'll keep you up on web music technology sites for Hypebot. And this is like, if you keep on top of web music technology and the companies that are... Yeah. If you keep an eye on the people that are developing the technology, you'll know, you know, what the tools are to move forward with as an independent artist. If you want to see what the big boys are doing with internet marketing, look at topspinmedia.com for some good models.
Looking for the newest technology. I actually have, the question is blogs and websites. Hypebot is a good one, and my good friend Ariel Hyatt at Cyber PR has one of the great, oh my goodness, every time I say her name, people nod their head. She is everywhere. She has a wonderful, wonderful blog. There's also musicthinktank.com. I also really enjoy Tom Silverman's blog. He runs Tommy Boy Records. And but I wanted to give an alternative answer that if you can go to as many free or affordable conferences or small panels such as this, live and in person, and meet those who are interested in the same in blogs and who are writing about it, and the journalists who attend, that's a good way to find. I mean, most of these technologies are released at small conferences and also large ones. And so the way, personally, that I have learned about constant new technologies is, one, I'm lucky to live in San Francisco, and two, going to events where they are announced and demoed. So while it's great to read blogs, it's also good to get out and look for yourself and assess.
Add on to that, I would also say, if you have a Twitter account, you could just use it to digest news. So rather than just the blogs, if you followed Todd or Ms. Denis, then they curate the news for you. As they find out about a new development, they usually tweet out about it.
I do that. Actually, my company Twitter account is @NotShocking, and I use it for two things. I use it to vet music news that I think is compelling and interesting. Very often it's music tech, because that's what I'm interested in, and then news about my clients, because that's what I do. And it's highly interspersed.
Sandbox.fm by Music Ally. We also had a suggestion over here at Grammy365.com. And we've got time for one more question, and I have to admit, we really didn't get into a lot of data management, and I think we'll take something offline. If you follow, what Twitter?
You should follow @LeftSets, on Twitter, @LEFSETZ. No, LEFSETZ. Can't believe I forgot.
Good one. Okay, I think we just got these three questions here, and then we can definitely figure out a way to address some data management things, maybe online if you follow us on Twitter. Question?
Well, I just going back to the Facebook thing and the personal page, and then you want to do a fan page. Can that be under your band's name?
Absolutely.
It'll be a different name than the personal page, obviously.
Yes. Don't worry about the links until you get 25 friends. I thought it was 100 until yesterday. You got to have 25 fans, 25 likes, and then you can pick your vanity URL. And you can only pick it once. Yeah. You pick it once, you press the button, and you love it forever.
Now you go into the help, because I can't remember the URL off the top of my head. And help, and when you facebook.com/ I think it's URL.
Yeah, I think it's that basic. They hide it.
Yeah,
They just want to torture you.
We're actually out of time. Do you guys want to take this offline if you want to continue the conversation during the break?
Thank you so much, everybody. Feel free to ping us around here. Thank you so much, the Future Music Coalition. Musicplus, thank you so much.